Go Kerack the next turn, and we finish with the Aerondight. And he has Shupe. I don't think he has Artwad or really any high provision stuff left. Maybe he has a Heat Wave or something, but I don't think he has too many good cards. There's the Bribery. That was one we should have remembered he had. Let's see how good his RNG is here. It's pretty good. So I think we have to play the Aerondight this turn instead of next turn. So we do 5 to him, boost ourselves by 10. That's a 15-point play. Definitely worth trying to get that, even if it slows down our engines. Today we're going to be looking at this deck, which is basically just Siege with Aerondight, and the reason for this is Aerondight, well, let's take a look at it first. So, it's 9 provisions, echo, damage unit by 0, then boost the lowest power allied unit by excess damage dealt. So basically you always get value for it. At the end of your turn, if you more points, your opponent increase damage by 1 wherever this is. So, Aerondight's a very cool card, and I really like it. But I wanted to see if we put it in a deck that I knew how it usually performed, if Aerondight felt like it was actually good or not. So I'm pretty sure it's good, but we want a deck that I'm pretty confident will always have more points than the opponent round 1, and Siege is a very good candidate for that because we have the Raffard's Vengeance, King Henselt, usually your head round 1, and usually you can get enough points here that Aerondight should get pretty big. And the reason is this is a deck that I've used in the past quite a bit, so we should know more or less how it performs. I want to see if Aerondight's good enough to fit here, because I think the card's pretty good, but I want to see just how strong it is. So that's the reason we're doing this. Now, as far as the rest of the deck, it's pretty standard Siege. We cut Devotion for Aerondight, obviously, so no King Belohun and no Kerack Marines. I'll replace those a couple other cards in here. Aerondight replacing the King Belohun. So overall, it should be a pretty similar deck. We cut 1 Nekkar Ballista and added in the 2 regular Ballistas instead. It's a couple additional Siege machines, Siege engines. So that's basically what we did here, but it's pretty standard Siege with Aerondight, and I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. Let's go find out. Let's get a game here. And we have Imprisonment. Okay, so this should be a pretty good test. I imagine they'll actually have answers to our Siege machines. Well, I keep calling them Siege machines. I call them Siege machines because Dwarven Chariot's a Siege machine, not a Siege engine, I'm pretty sure. And for some reason, I just get that mixed up. Anyway, Imprisonment should be a good test, because sometimes with Siege you just win because they have no control. He should have locks, he has his leader charges, so it should be a pretty decent game. Let's see what we get into here. Odrin is a good opener. Aerondight, normally you'd say that, well, why are we playing a consistency card? Siege thins so much that we should pretty much always get the Aerondight, which is another reason why I picked this, is the deck to test it in. With Raffard's Vengeance here, this is going to be hardly anything new, but, you know, this is how we get ahead. And when we get ahead like this, we could play our Kerack, honestly. Probably will. Put it over here in case we get that crew. We can use the Crystal Skull. This could get hit with a Assassination or Coated Weapons, and we'd rather just have it. But like I was saying here, this should be a pretty good test. I'm kind of curious to see what he's running. It's probably an Assimilate deck if I had to guess, although it could be Ball. Okay, yeah, it looks like Ball. Makes sense here. We're going to lose our Raffard's Vengeance, but honestly I'm not too concerned. We can just... Let's actually winch this. We do lose value on this, but the thinning our deck I think is worth it. Like, obviously we know he's going to poison us again, so that winch gave us essentially 0 points. But what it did do instead was thin our deck by 1. And play a bronze unit from our hand. And I think I'm pretty happy exchanging that for 5 points. Maybe you're not, maybe that's not something you would do, but I'm pretty sure that's worth it here. Because we want to make sure we draw the Aerondight, and more importantly here, we want to make sure we have these Siege engines going. And if he's poisoning that, he won't be able to poison something bigger like this tower, which might get fairly large. We'll just reduce this cooldown here. It's technically more valuable to reduce the cooldown on the Siege tower, but I'd rather have access to this 2 damage next turn. Maybe we can kill something with a Bombardment. Okay, so this is what's going on. He's playing this. We have 1, 2, 3 Siege engines. So we can just Bombardment to remove this. So I'm guessing here that he wants to play the new tactic that spawns 1 power copies of stuff. If you make a bunch of the masters. Let's not Master of Disguise. Is it Master of Disguise? Yeah, I think it's Master of Disguise. You make a bunch of copies of that on the opponent's field, or you swap them over, and then you make the 1-power copies, you steal their stuff. Probably what he's going for here. Pretty neat. But that being said, we don't really want to let him do it, even if it is a pretty neat idea. There's a Morale. It's a card we've been making. Actually, I recorded a discussion day video on Morale, but then he got his buff, so I think we're going to redo that video. And we'll talk about him tomorrow. Quite like Morale in general. We'll go Boiling Oil here. Take out the Morale. We only have the 1 Boiling Oil in this deck. I think that's pretty standard, although you can have 2. It's up to you here. But I don't think we need the second one. I'm actually not too sure we need the first one, but I like having access to it off of the John Natalius. The reason I said we might not need the second one is because as you get later in the game, past round 1, the Aerondight can take over a lot of the role that Boiling Oil takes, where you have the damage, access to immediate damage. I like the 1 Boiling Oil though, so we can access to it, but we're way ahead here, so I think we'll just go with Centurion Envoy, and we will stack the Aerondight to our deck. And even though he's poisoning us for pretty decent value, we're pretty far ahead here. There's a Ring of Favor for 14. Let's just play... Odrin really goes well with the Fultus Pride. So, let's just play the Fultus Pride. The reason we don't go... Odrin and Fultus Pride go really well together, but I don't want to play a duel. Obviously, because... okay, there's a Ciri Nova. That explains a bit here. It does explain a bit. We can't let that carry over. Let's move this Winch, I guess. We'll throw down our Odrin. Next turn, we can hit this Ciri Nova for some damage, but he's just going to pass here. He's going to pass before we have the damage orders on our siege engines ready. That way he can make sure he's got the Ciri Nova carryover. So it's not Ball, which is a little strange here. I'm guessing it's just Master of Disguise deck. Not too sure here. It's kind of interesting, whatever it is. But our Aaron... Okay, there's Golden Nekkar. Knew that was coming. Blightmaker, Surrender, and... Can't quite see that. But this will be a big tempo play for him. Fultus Pride takes a bit of damage. We lose our crew. And okay, it's the Jin box. It's a 7-point guy. And now he's up by 14. So, we're going to use a duel here. I think. Fultus Pride. He's going to lock and kill our Fultus Pride. That's 16 points. Duel is worth quite a bit here. Let's remove Ciri Nova's shield. Actually, we have to count here. It's 14 points for the duel with a Zeal order. I think we go double. Well, Unsace is... I think we might double leader this. Do we? I think so. I think we double leader this. Your move here. Get us up ahead. Obviously, we can't Zeal the Unsace here, but Unsace for 8 still isn't bad. And there's going to be this. Okay, so that's not great value. Let's just move. We already have the Aerondight. I think we play this. I think we just play it. See if we can't force out this card. It might be something low value. I think it's something low value. But less than 4 is difficult. Okay, what's the second one of these? I honestly thought it was the spawn 3 copies tactic. Like I said earlier, I thought that was what his deck was going to be based around. I thought that was what he had in his hand. And it was something that made a little bit of sense for him not to have played yet. I guess he could have played it when we had our first siege engines. Either way, we do lose on even with no leader here, but this hand is something that we can definitely work with. There's the Master of Disguise. I think we just Aerondight that. Actually, no, we don't. We need... Siege doesn't quite get us on even. We just try and save the Siege. What can we play with... No, we play the Siege here. Now he passes. So we go into round 2. We play our Amphibious Assault. We do have the big Aerondight finisher, so we're not too bad of shape here. I mean, obviously we don't want to... Oh, he's actually going to go for it. I really think he should have passed here, but he must have... I guess Golden Nekkar is a lot of the power in his deck. This is going to be for another one of those. I'm pretty sure we just... Well, if we Aerondight our guy, we can't steal his. He locks it. I mean, we could Aerondight, but I think we want an Amphibious Assault for a Siege Engine here. Let's go Ballista. He'll get more points here than the Reinforced Ballista, then we can kill this guy off. And we're up by 6. Aerondight will secure this round and actually get into a decent spot for round 3 here. Not sure what he's trying to force. Okay, Blightmaker's a big tempo play. But we can just Aerondight and we'll be fine. It's 11 points. It's pretty good. And we get that back for round 3, and we should be good here. Yeah, I think we've got this. He's used up all of his power of his deck, I'm pretty sure. I think. We will see, though. There's Henselt. Henselt's the perfect card for this round 3. We do not have a crew card in our deck, so let's put back this Siege Tower. And we should be doing pretty well here. A little bit of a strange game. Round 1, I really thought he had that tactic card, but I guess it would make sense that he would have played it earlier if he did to take a Terra Ballista. Not too sure. Not too sure. Because that's a 3-point card. I guess we probably gamble too heavily on him having that. I really wanted all of his leader charges gone though, round 1. It's really nice artwork on this card, by the way. Our Reinforced Ballista will be taking the Shillard here. I'm pretty sure the Shillard is in combination for the thing from the box. The opponent wins the bet, and then you transform it into a 1, or hit it down to a 1. Pretty sure that's why that's here. I consider doing that as well. Decided not to in the end. And this should be a win here. Aerondight's... Oh, he's got his own Aerondight. Okay, but he was behind so much in the siege round that it's only a 5. And ours, on the other hand, is a 14. And that's going to be a GG. There's a bribery. He's going to make something. It's not going to make a difference. Even if it isn't on Sace. But GG. Interesting game 1 there. Covered from our plays round 1. This time we're facing Dwarves. Okay, so Siege versus Dwarves is something, the new Dwarves in particular, is, I think we might struggle versus how much armor they have. A lot of our value is going to get wasted on armor. But then again, Foltest Pride we can probably keep alive. I think we might have to... Oh, there's no Henselt or Raffard's Vengeance here. I think we throw it on Siege then, right? We need this round 1, so I guess we have to Siege round 1 if we don't have Henselt. We could open Odrin and then probably play the Siege. We get the crew on the Reinforced Trebuchet. That's what we're going to do here. I think we just throw down Siege round 1. Henselt Raffard Vengeance is very strong. Okay, why is he disconnecting? Come on, man. We're here to play the game, not watch the screen. There we go. So yeah, we'll see here. The thing is, if he's going to commit round 1, he does have the option of Broover. And Broover is an incredible card for the amount of value he can give. We don't have a Heat Wave, so really our best control card for Broover is going to end up being Aerondight. By the way, if I'm pronouncing Aerondight wrong, which I probably am, I do apologize. But, you know, we're playing a game here, not studying linguistics. So, my pronunciations are usually not the best. Not gonna lie. I try. You guys correct me, I try and change it. Let's see here, yeah. Let's see what he does here. I've been rereading the Witcher series lately, so that's pretty interesting as well. A lot of fun going back and doing that. Miner here. If you guys haven't read the actual books, they're quite interesting. I do enjoy them. I think Foltest Pride's what we go for. Foltest Pride is our round to carry. That's a little tangent we just did, but, you know, he's doing his turn. What do you want us to do? If we can just ping all the armor off with the Foltest Pride, that's our ideal situation here, so he can't win the round with a Broover. Oh, by the way, the crew on our Reinforced Trebuchet is actually worse than no crew at this point, because I really do want to just hit the range draw and kill that. What's it called in the range draw? The Dwarven Chariot. So we could put a siege engine next to it to stop it. But maybe we don't, because we want to keep... He's going to armor it now, isn't he? No, he's not. Okay, maybe we... maybe I just want to keep hitting... I think we do want to keep hitting it melee as well, though, because we keep picking off armor. We can kill the chariot with something else. Keep firing this here. Move this. And this bombardment should be pretty good. No, let's not go in melee. And... no, yeah, we'll put it here. So now we can just hit... Okay. You know what? I said we'd put it there, so we'd only hit range, so we could kill off that chariot, and then the chariot died to the bombardment. So you know what? I don't care. It doesn't matter. Oh, he had Ring of Favor. Yeah, that's a pretty common card in Dwarves. I haven't tried that myself, but I think it is definitely warranted and a good idea. And you can see here, it got banished, so we can't check for it. Now, we do have Aerondight and Henselt here. I'm thinking of a 2-round push. Reason why is get rid of Brewer. Aerondight will probably be big enough we can kill the Brewer. Remove the Brewer from the game, I mean, and we can kill it with the Aerondight. And basically, we just want to bleed it out. We can Aerondight it to kill it. We have Henselt Raffard's Vengeance for the big tempo start. Then we can stack round... our deck... Okay, come on, man. Thank you. We can stack our deck for round 3, and we'll have the Echo of the Aerondight, which we can use for our big round 3 finisher. Shouldn't be a bad idea. We really want to get rid of the Zoltan's Company Brewer combo, if at all possible. It's going to be a little bit worse without Fultus Pride. That's really the way we get rid of all the armor on stuff. But let's Henselt here. And we'll get out our Raffard's Vengeance. And this will keep us ahead for the Aerondight to keep boosting as well. Something we definitely want. Aerondight's best used around end of round 2 and then round 3. And this is a good way to do it. Let's play this. And we're going to get some value from Henselt unless he kills it. But Dwarves not known for running removal. An excessive amount, at least. So, if he doesn't have a removal, we should be doing quite well here. I don't think he will. But if he does, 4 is a good number to reach. Dwarven Chariot. Alright, Henselt lives. Henselt lives. Good to see, good to see. So I think we got this then. Like, I don't want to be overconfident or anything, but Henselt is going to give us so many points that it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. We'll stack these guys ranged. That way if he kills one, I don't know how he'd kill one when he couldn't kill Henselt, but if he does kill one, we'll have the ability of Henselt going still. Do have the couple winches, they'll boost us up pretty tall. And then we have John Natalius, Aerondight, yeah, looking pretty good here. We're going to get a very, very tall Henselt and also Raffard's Vengeance because we're going to keep winching it. So we do have the... Well, we can winch it at least once because we'll get the Bliss out of our hand with it next turn. Should be pretty good. Alright, Zolan's Company, we definitely want that gone. That's good. That's one of the things we want. Next, we got to get rid of Brewer. I think we start pinging off armor here. We could... Yeah, we've got the Aerondight for Brewer. With these reinforced ballistas, it should be enough damage to kill him. So we'll just try and get rid of some of these. Do this winch. Henselt getting even bigger. Play this. Play ballista. We'll throw it melee just in case. It's always good to spread out your points in case they have a random Yrden or Igni. But I highly doubt he has one of those. Dwarves really like to use their provisions for the big expensive dwarf cards, and he already showed Ring of Favor. So I don't really think he will have one. Alright, there's the Monroe. Triple transform here, pretty nice for him, not gonna lie. But I don't think it compares to Henselt in terms of value here. Pew pew pew. And we can do some orders here. Do another winch. We can also boiling oil. Let's remove these dwarves. I'm more concerned with the dwarves than the chariot at this point. Because we can get rid of these. We don't have to worry about Henselt so much. Boiling oil will kill this one. And then... Or not Henselt. Brewer we have to worry about less if we can just get rid of the armor on these. He can still give 1 per turn with the chariot. So we do want to remove that eventually. But I don't want him to have a tempo swing turn where he plays Brewer and instantly gets a bunch of points. He's going to re-armor. Let's see, we also want to get rid of... Well, he could have a Barclay as well. So we want to get rid of the Dwarves, deny that value. That gives armor to everything and boosts. And we can get rid of the armor. We can also make sure the Dennis is weaker, because Dennis is a big card. It's kind of hard to say here. There's the Decree. What's this going to be for? Okay, so he's going to try and go for Dennis. I don't really want to hit 5 armor with orders. But let's just remove this here. He's going to Dennis, probably. So let's go with this Winch, Raffard's Vengeance. Again, Henselt getting so many points here. We'll do this. We have the Sintrant Envoys. Let's play it out here. Let's try and stack a... Oh, these are exactly the cards we want to stack for round 3. And this is looking really good so far. I mean, we're up by 28. We're stacking our deck with the cards we want to draw. Henselt's going to keep going. Looking really good this game. Aerondight's at, what, 10? We can kill a Brewer with that, most likely. And we do have the 2 orders still, so it should be good. And we can go into Bombardment here off of our John Natalius. Game's looking really good so far. This is exactly how the deck is supposed to work. Exactly how. I think he's debating if he Brewers or not, honestly. Because he's going to play Dennis. But I think he's debating if he plays the Brewer first or not. Because he knows we have duels. Honestly, if I was him, I might consider Brewer leadering to keep the Brewer alive. There's the Barclay. That's another card that's pretty standard. Pew pew. Henselt getting even more points. Let's just try and kill off some of these Dwarves here. I really don't like the idea of just sending damage into Zoltan. Let's see how much this does, though. Should be pretty good. Cooldown, like, we could send a bunch of damage into Zoltan to prevent the Dennis value. But I'd rather just ping all this armor off so the Brewer doesn't give him incredible amounts of value. Because he's going to get value from the Dennis anyway. If we can stop the Brewer's engine being crazy... There's the Dennis, by the way. If we can stop the Brewer's engine from being crazy, I think that's better for us. So let's just try and remove all these 1 armors. He's played Barclay, and he's played... Okay, good. We've got both our duels stacked. Let's just play this range for the 1 extra point. We don't need to use its order anymore. Yeah, he's got all of his cards stacked. We've got all the cards stacked, I mean. And yeah, if we can just keep removing the 1 armors, there's the Brewer. His value will be very low. He'll probably have to leader charge here. No, he doesn't. Okay. So Aerondight will be our answer. Kill this. Boost our melee guy. Start shooting some more Dwarves. And we have a massive advantage here. It's looking very good. Short of a Yurden, we win the game here. And again, I don't think he has one. He did Royal Decree. Like he ran Royal Decree Ring of Favor, which are some provisions you can't use on the expensive Dwarves. So we haven't seen Zoltan Warrior yet, or Zoltan's Company, so we don't know if he's running the Warrior. I know he did play Zoltan's Company, so he's playing Zoltan Warrior. Yeah, he played the Zoltan's Company before Monroe, and he got 5. So we know he's running Zoltan Warrior, so I don't think he can have provisions for Yurden. So should be safe here. Of course, that draw off Raffard's Vengeance could have been better. I think we just pass here, because I'm not going to play this out of our hand. Don't think it's worth it. So we'll just pass here, and then he'll have to come back somehow, and I doubt it without Brewer. We should win 2-0 here, even if he does have good cards left. But if not, we'll be up a card round 3 for sure. And then we have the Are You Kidding Me? Well, that's not good. You know, every time you think they don't have it, they have it. That's just how it is. But let's see what we can do in round 3 here. He is up a card with leader charge still, which isn't great. But he's not no Brewer. He has no Monroe. He has 4 carryover. But we have a really big Aerondight. A Siege Engine would be really good for the Siege Master. We do have some. We draw into the Selkirk here, which is good to know. But I think we'll just end up playing the Amphibious Assault to get him. Oh, wait a minute. Then we don't have a Siege Engine for the Siege Master. Well, that was dumb. Oh, no, I'm not. No, we're right, because we draw into it. Like, yeah. I confused myself for that. Yeah, we draw into it once we play the Siege Engine, because the Siege Master plays it out. Confused myself for a second there. There was a reason I did this, I just didn't remember it. Yeah, this is what's supposed to happen. You guys ever nervous that you did something wrong? Even though you like had a plan, then you forgot the plan, you're like, wait, why'd I do this? That's what I just did. Okay, that's not bad. We have really good value cards here. The question is, do we kill that? Let's just reduce this cooldown. We don't have 2 soldiers, but there's nothing else for us to cooldown. We go Selkirk here. Do the boost. And we'll kill this guy off. We do have a pretty good lead here. Do have a pretty good lead for sure. I'm just a little confused about what his last cards will be. He does have one more card, but with 3 Zoltans, I don't think he has... There's the Zoltan Warrior. That's his big tempo card here. Ooh, hitting that was bad for us, but we knew, probably a good choice from him. So this isn't looking great. Not gonna lie. Let's unsace. And we'll remove this damage here. The reason we didn't go for the Aerondight here is because he gets an extra point this way. We do lose 1 point on the unsace, but he could lead or something and make that harder for us. We do want to deny that value. There's a guard. Our biggest value from this Aerondight, which is a 16 by the way, that's big, is to hit this. It comes down to his last card. I think it's a Bronze Dwarf. He's shown so many provisions, he can't have much else left. I don't think he can, at least. So we'll kind of see here what he's gonna go into. There's the leader. There is the leader. Oh, he's his own Aerondight. How big is it? 7? It's a draw? Huh. Okay. That's pretty good after such a big Yurden. Yeah, despite how big of a Yurden that was a really good game. Close at the end. Alright, we go up against probably quad waylays again. Certainly a popular deck. These are all good decks to test the Aerondight siege against. Yeah, these are all good tests. Yeah, let's go into this. See what we have here. He's probably playing Scenario. Although Scenario versions are less common. It doesn't have to be Scenario for the Saber, but usually well, if you have the Scenario, you do have the Saber. You don't usually have the Saber in either case, but there is that. Let's just kill it, I guess. We'll kill it next turn, but we're gonna get rid of that. I think the best one to go for here is just this Reinforced Ballista. Let's play it back here, play this out. Reason why we went ranged with that instead of melee for the 1 damage is I want the soldiers ranged so that we have a better chance of getting the crew on the Kerack Ballista. It's not a big deal, but we can kill this elf lady pretty easily anyway. We did draw into the second Siege Master, which is quite nice. Our issue here is we don't have Henselt, Raffard's Vengeance, or Siege. We usually want one of those cards for round 1, and we didn't get any, which is really unlucky, honestly. Like, we should have gotten one of the 3, mathematically, but we didn't. This is the issue with going ranged, though. He gets an extra point of value there, but the extra point went into armor, so not too bad overall. We can go Fultus Pride, because Winch can cool it down. Let's just hit this. Yeah, Winch is a full cooldown on the Fultus Pride, but we do have the crew here, since we get out the John Natalius. We have the John Natalius out, and the second Siege Master comes out, and there is our Siege. A little late for us to throw it down round 1, but we'll see if we can't carry this with Fultus Pride. He doesn't have a Yavin, which is usually how they remove stuff like this. So it should be pretty safe, at least for a turn or 2. Aerondight's getting bigger. I really just like Aerondight as a card. The mechanic's very cool. Artwork's fantastic. It's actually a pretty good card. We're just trying to find out how good and if it fits in this deck well or not. Another one of these ladies. Yeah, maybe going range wasn't the best idea. Maybe not. I was thinking about the Kerack Ballista, but at this point that's not going to come up, so... The crew on it, at least. Let's just fire here. We can do the 1 cooldown. We're going to use a Warfare card here. Fire here. Do the winch. And honestly, this is a lot of damage, so it's going to be hard for him to keep up here. Especially when Foltest Pride's going like this. Aerondight's getting bigger, and this is a pretty good situation. It's only at 3, but that's only because it's been 3 turns. Okay, he's going to remove that. Not ideal, but let's go with a Centurion Envoy here. Let's try and stack Henselt. No Henselt. Or Raffard's Vengeance. Either is good. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. He doesn't have the Elf Swarm going. It's going to be hard for him to get a bunch of Elves out. Okay, he's getting some more. Okay, that's a little weird. Usually you don't see the Neophyte in your deck unless you're running something that's really needs the provisions. Let's kill the Neophyte. We could have gotten an extra point of value, but left the Neophyte alive. But then I think he gets value from it, so... I guess we could have killed it with this Ballista. I guess technically we lost that at 1 point there. And he gets a transform. Yeah, I wasn't thinking ahead to the Ballista play. I wanted to play Kerack Ballista, ideally, but that didn't have the 1 damage. Then after I fired the Foltest Pride, I was like, well, we can use the Ballista. Should have thought a little bit further ahead there. Yeah, our plan for Kerack Ballista didn't work out, but we should have... Oh, it's traps. Okay, that changes things here. We can't play Aerondight. So it's going to be either the Row Trap or the... It's probably the Row Trap. Let's stack Raffard's Vengeance. That's good to see. Remove the Neophyte. Let's play Siege Tower here. Spread out in case it's Crushing Trap. And we just want to disjoint his traps, right? They want to play all their traps in 1 round. Oh, and there's a Gezeros, but we can't play Aerondight. Like, Aerondight could kill this, but we can't play it. The reason why is because that could be Serpent Trap, and if it's Serpent Trap, we get blown out. So that is an issue. It's probably Serpent Trap, in all honesty. So that's not good. Yeah, because if it's Serpent Trap, we get blown out from the Aerondight. So I think we deny him activating the Serpent Trap trigger. It probably is Serpent Trap. We deny that trigger. It only gets 1 value, though, so we can kind of count on that. That'd be pretty good. But Gezeros will get him a lot of points here. But I don't want to play either of these cards. I think we have to pass. I'm not even sure we win the round without... We have to Zeal on Stace if we're going to win here. And we can't use Siege, so I think it's safest to pass. There's the Horn. Okay, it wasn't Serpent Trap. And that one was Crushing. Okay. It wasn't actually Serpent Trap, so we could have gone for the Aerondight. But it was such a risk that I don't think it was worth it. We got rid of the Gezeros, we got rid of 2 of the traps. Could have been better, but we still have Siege Raffard's Vengeance. That's not bad. We have nothing to play with Raffard's Vengeance, though. There's a Ballista. We can play that. I guess we do this. Let's see what he does. Okay, so we can just play the Ballista then. Yeah, this is the Echo copy of Amphibious Assault, so we're not going to use that. Play the Ballista. And actually, this should be an interesting round 3. He's going to have the traps, so none of our stuff will do any damage, because he's just going to play traps and not play any units, which is super annoying. But that's what it is, and I don't like traps, but whatever. If we draw Henselt, that would be ideal to try and get some more generation of points here. But we didn't get him. We have any crew cards? No. So we have to put back the Siege Tower if we're going to draw into Henselt. No, we don't get him. I might put back that Siege Tower, by the way. If we drew Henselt there, it would have been pretty sad. Let's go Siege Tower, Incinerating Trap. Yeah, there it is. They'll hit that. What's next? Incinerating or Pitfall? Probably second Incinerating. So we can't play Raffard's Vengeance while there's a trap out, by the way. That's our issue here. If we play it while trap's out, it gets killed by Incinerating Trap. But then again, if we wait too long, we won't have a bronze unit in our hand. Honestly, a little bit of a situation here. Let's go Amphibious Assault for Odrin. Is it Serpent Trap? It is Serpent Trap. Okay, so there's a Serpent Trap. We have Odrin here for the crew. And we'll see here. We will see. I think next turn we can go for the Raffard's Vengeance, because you might not put... Okay, it's a trap. We might just have to go for the Raffard's Vengeance. Let's just play Selkirk. Pitfall. Okay, Selkirk did live. Like, these dual cards are not going to hit anything with the Zeal, so we're going to have to have their orders set up and use them once he does a transform. But that is what it is. Not much we can do about it. Let's just set up the Onsace too. Honestly, the Raffard's Vengeance is more valuable than these, because the orders aren't going to do very much. They're going to hit, like, 3 points worth of stuff. Hopefully we can remove a couple of the Deadeyes. The Bomber here. Okay, we can hit something now, at least. Just a Crushing Trap. Well, Onsace still does 4 damage. I think we should use this before he dies, because at 1, that's pretty likely. Let's play this here. Okay, that's supposed to be Raffard's Vengeance. I was thinking about the Reinforced Ballista coming out from the Raffard's Vengeance, but we should have played the Raffard's Vengeance. I think we just threw the game. Well, it happens, guys. Let's duel this guy. Remove this. And I guess we use Onsace's order. Yeah, I was thinking about playing the Reinforced Ballista and how we're going to use it, because it comes off of Raffard's Vengeance. And then I played it instead of Raffard's Vengeance. This is something I do with Raffard's Vengeance with a fair amount of frequency, by the way. Like, it is not the least common thing for me to do this with Raffard's Vengeance, and it's really annoying, and I should stop doing it. But it mostly happens when I'm talking and recording videos. So, whatever. He has Isengrim left. That's his last card for sure. This is a 16, though. Up by 7. It says just a draw. His last card's Isengrim. We get another draw because we were dumb, but this happens all the time when I play Raffard's Vengeance while recording. I just talk about the card I'm going to play with it and how we're going to use it, and then forget, like, my hands don't play the Raffard's Vengeance to get it out. Yeah, there's the draw with Isengrim. You know, we deserved that. 2 draws is kind of weird, though. Not going to lie. Double Cross. Interesting. We do have the Henselt. This time we're not going to do anything stupid with the Raffard's Vengeance. Can't believe we did that. This is definitely not the first time I've done that in a video either. It's got to be like the 3rd time by now. Talking about one thing and then just do something else because I'm too busy trying to explain. Thinking about something else at the same time. It's okay. Nobody is perfect. Well, let's kind of pretend that game didn't happen. Now we're in this one. So I think here, I think we go Henselt, Raffard's Vengeance, open up. It's our best opener. It gets the Aerondight getting boosted, which is nice. If he does create his own Raffard's Vengeance, we can usually duel it. The only issue is if he makes Raffard's Vengeance and then goes Joachim into it. That's where we get in big trouble. But he's going first, so he can't win on even with that if he does have it. He hasn't played the Jean Calvi yet either. So like if this is round 2 and he's running Joachim, he'd be guaranteed to have it. So if Jean Valvited it, but he doesn't. Does not. Alright, let's see what he gets. Let the RNG commence. Kerack Ballista. It's pretty good for him. What do we do? I think we just go Raffard's Vengeance here. He has more easier reach killing this, but as long as we put it between stuff, he can't do it with Assassination, and that should be pretty decent. He's not going to have an Assassination, though. Let's just put this here. You don't see Assassination in these decks anymore. It's usually Tourney Joust or nothing. Because they have the big answers like Heat Wave and Invocation instead. So Tourney Joust could kill the Henselt, though. That's what I expect. Expect to see the Tourney Joust Henselt, and that wouldn't be too bad. You could even coup it, but that would be like the last ditch choice, right? Because you wouldn't get much value from it. Oh, he has this lady. That works too, I guess. Don't see her very often, but she's not bad. We're going to lose our Raffard's Vengeance next turn, I'm pretty sure. So, let's just fire this. Not much we can do about it. This will fire the 2 damage off, though, so we'll get that value. And we'll have these set up for Foltest Pride, because I think we're going to need Foltest Pride to carry this round. And there's the Tourney Joust, as we expected. We can Foltest Pride here. Let's just Envoy, though. We're ahead a decent amount. Okay, we'll stack Siege for sure. He doesn't look like he's playing Cantarella. No Assimilate cards yet. And no Milling, so for sure we're safe to put that on top of our deck. You gotta be a little careful against Nilfgaard. If you think they're running Cantarella, you can't really do this stacking. But I don't think he has it. One way to deal with it, you can wait till you have both Sentry and Envoys out and click their order in the same turn and make the Siege the second card down. But that means you have to see it with the first one. So, just don't think they have the Cantarella, so we're going to go for it. There's a Brothans. Informant will deny us nothing, because there's no crew card out. But he's going to start getting his own engines now, and this is what we don't like about Assimilate, is that it makes everything into a mirror match. More or less. At least that's why I don't like it. Did we just go second? Let's go with Foltest Pride here. This should force him to Invocation or use Heatwave or something like that to deal with it. And he has not played Jean Calvi in this round 1, so he might not have it. If he doesn't have it, he can hopefully carry the round with this Foltest Pride. He's going to make another Reinforced Ballista. And now we don't have the crew anymore, which is pretty annoying. Let's put the Boiling Oil on top, just in case he does have that Cantarella. Can winch here. Let's winch next turn. Let's go for this. Get this crew going. Fire this. We can kill one of the Reinforced Ballistas this way, even though it's not the maximum damage spread, so we're going to do that. We're not too concerned here, because Winch is a full reset on the Foltest Pride anyway here. We can pull out a second Winch, so that's 2 turns with John Natalius. There's the Runemage. We knew that was coming. He's going to make another Reinforced Ballista, I'm calling it. Oh, looks like he didn't see one. If he did, he would have picked it by now. Pretty sure. Cairo Ballista, okay. Now we could be using these, well, here, I'll just point something out here. We could use the Reinforced Ballista shot to kill off this Duchess Informant to get our crew back on Foltest Pride, but we could have earlier, right? But then we played our Siege Tower on that side of the Odrin. And if you use a damage to kill off one of these Duchess Informants, it's a -2. But I'm not sure that's worth getting the crew on Foltest Pride back when we get it back twice anyway, thanks to the winches. Maybe it was. Hard to say. And look, he'd just do it again, right? And we'd be forced to do another 2 damage to ourselves to try and get that crew back. And that definitely not worth it if he had this one as well. If he just had the 1 Duchess Informant, it might be worth it. It's hard to say. With 2, definitely not, in my opinion. We lose 4 points on our own before we can even get that crew back. And we can get the winches to do it anyway. So, at this point, we just have the same... We just have -4 points. And he will double cross into another one of those. Let's just get the Vitalities. John Natalius. We'll do another winch here. Voltus Pride. Fire at Voltus Pride. Maximum damage here. And he's just trying not to lose here, because he knows we'll bleed out all of his cards round 2. That's really our goal, though. We want to bleed him out. He's trying to stop us. Not that I blame him, but I don't think... The thing is, we just don't have too much value left. But no leader is pretty good. We got the leader out. He has so many reinforced ballistas, though. Like, we have a fair amount of control, and we still can't keep up with this. Man, Assimilate's annoying. Oh, and there's a winch. So, yeah, we're out of this round now. Can't compete with this. That being said, we got rid of Lydia, we got rid of Brothens, we got rid of Artorius Figo, we got rid of his leader ability, so it's not too bad. It's just, he still has Artwad and other cards that are good, so Invocation and Heatwave still probably as well. That's annoying. It could be Shupe too. We haven't seen a reason it won't be Shupe. I don't think. No, it could still be Shupe. Then Shupe destroys Siege, and that's a problem. Otherwise, he has Heatwave, and Heatwave destroys Siege, and that's a problem. So, I'm not counting too much on this Siege here. Honestly, if he starts pushing us round 2, I kind of want to use it. As long as we can do it in a way... Yeah, I think if he plays like a gold card here, I think we'll play Siege. We might play it anyway. It's going to get removed. So it's better to have it removed early than be relying on it for round 3, I think. No leaders, good though. We'll just see what he does here. Well, it's taking forever here though. If you guys liked the video, if you guys enjoyed stuff on the channel, really appreciate if you subscribed, hit that like button. Lets me know you guys are enjoying stuff, and it's good to see. Helps other people find the videos. He's just gonna pass. That's fine. I think that's fine. We'll just see what happens in round 3 here. I would have thought he wanted to get rid of our Siege, but maybe he doesn't have the cards to do it. He doesn't want to go down a card against double duel. Hard to say here. Bombardment might be worth something. This Envoy's not. No, neither is Bombardment. Here's what we can do, though. So you'll notice that we kept the Envoys, because I realized something partway through redrawing there. And then what that is that if we can stack the top of our deck for our Siege Masters, we can stack the top of the deck, so when we play a Siege Engine, my goodness. When we play a Siege Engine, we can draw into the card we stack this into an Envoy. And we don't have our Aerondight, so I really want to get it. So we're going to try and stack Aerondight here. Let's go. No Aerondight. So we still can't play a Siege Engine. I think we play Siege next turn, then no Siege Engine. Maybe on Sace, maybe a Amphibious Assault. So we have Selkirk. Yeah, we want Aerondight. It's going to be so big. I think we need the Aerondight value, because he's gonna have Artwad still. He's going to have Invocation and Heatwave. Another Ballista, probably. There it is. What a surprise. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. We're probably going to have the Amphibious Assault for Selkirk. I think we can do that now. I think we do that now, because Reinforced Ballista is going to get to be a problem. And we do need a play in this turn where we can't play a Siege Engine. Aerondight getting bigger. not the most efficient use of the Selkirk, points-wise, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. Get rid of that Reinforced Ballista. We definitely need our Aerondight, though. We've already looked through 3 cards once with our Centurion Envoy, and we're going to do it again here. There's a very, very high chance we see it by this time, right? And by playing the Amphibious Assault first, we thin our deck by 1, making it even more likely we see it to stack to the top. We've already done it once, and we're doing it again. Over two attempts, it should be pretty likely we get it. There's the Djinn box. What do we wager here? He's going to get it, because I'm not going to use Onsace or Siege. So, let's just... Oh, not again. That's unfortunate. I think we play Siege here. Because we can go Onsace, and then have another chance at the Centurion Envoy. I don't even think I'd bother clicking this order, honestly, for the box. Yeah, we don't bother. Because if he ends up somehow tying with a 4 provision, we end up transforming one of our siege engines, and then we can't trigger the siege, potentially. So we can't do those. And there is the Shupe, like we said. It's going to destroy our siege. That's why we weren't really counting on it so much here. But yeah, the Shupe deck was correct. Go on Sace here. Remove this for full value. And now we got another chance at the Envoy. Like I said, though, we really need this Aerondight to win, I think. But after 3 attempts, we really should see it. To stack the top of our deck. And then we can get out with these Siege Masters here. We're losing a little bit of engine value on the Reinforced Ballista and the Siege Tower. We're not playing them earlier. But I think it's worth it to get the Aerondight, because it's going to be at like 14 or 15 by the end of this game. I think that value we need. And honestly, I'm kind of concerned that he Archwads something that's an engine that we need to answer. Because I don't think he put spying on our Voltus Pride or Raffard's Vengeance, but I don't think he did. So maybe not Archwad's a problem, but we really want the Aerondight. It is an Aerondight deck after all. There is the Invocation. That will be... again, we don't see it. That's really unlucky. Well, nothing for it here. We just have to RNG into it. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. It's about time we got that. But here, I was going to say, like, if he goes Joachim into the duel, we now have at least Aerondight to deal with it. There's the Rada. We're going to lose our Reinforced Ballista here. We can go Karaballista, or we can go for Tower. Let's go Tower, because it's more valuable with this crew. We can trigger again, like so. Go Karaballista next turn, and we finish with the Aerondight. And if he has Shupe Rada, I don't think he has Archwad or really any high provision stuff left. Maybe he has a Heat Wave or something, but I don't think he has too many good cards. There's the Bribery. That was one we should have remembered he had. Let's see how good his RNG is here. It's pretty good. So I think we have to play the Aerondight this turn instead of next turn. So we do 5 to him, boost ourselves by 10. That's a 15-point play. Definitely worth trying to get that, even if it slows down our engines. Let's see what he does here. Okay, yeah, like I said, I don't think he has any high provision cards left, and this should be a GG. Click that crew, Karaballista down. We don't get this order, but we're up by 27, so this should be a GG here. And there's the thing from the box as his last card, which we knew, but never said out loud. GG. So what do I think about the deck, and more importantly, what do I think about Aerondight? So, Aerondight's a great card. I really enjoy it, but it takes a deck that's usually at the end of your turn, so something that can get a big tempo play round 1, get some engines going, and Siege fits that bill really well. The question here is then, does adding Aerondight and taking away Devotion, so you can't have King Belohun, and more importantly, the Kerack Marines, which are a pretty instrumental play you do a lot of times with the Raffard's Vengeance, is it worth it? Because the other thing here is you're losing soldiers for the crew. It makes crew significantly harder without the Kerack Marines. So the question is it worth it in this deck? I don't know. I think Aerondight... I think the deck's slightly better without Aerondight, because it leans better into it's an engine deck rather than we need more control from the Aerondight. But it is a very interesting card to try out in this deck. I think Siege is probably just better with like maybe like a King Belohun here and your Kerack Marines instead of these Ballistas. Second Kero Ballista, you know, the good old deck here. I think that might be better. But it was pretty close, honestly. I would get 2 wins and 2 draws. That's not a bad record. 2 draws is still weird, by the way. I can't believe we did that stupid thing round 2, game 3. Should have been 3 wins and 1 draw. But it is what it is. Now, as far as this deck, I think if you want to run Aerondight Siege, I don't think there's much I would change. If there is, it's going to be down here in the low provisions. Maybe second Kero Ballista, no boiling oil. That might be one change you can go for. Second Bombardment wouldn't be bad either. Maybe take 1 Ballista out for a second Bombardment. That wouldn't be bad. You can do that. I just did that, and now I can't find Bombardment to show you, but it's kind of irrelevant because you know what I said anyway. There it is. So you can do that. Another thing you can do here is if you look in these 4 provision cards, you can also, if you want, run the Radovid's Royal Guard. Like I said, you have a very small amount of soldiers here, but maybe the Royal Guard, since you don't have devotion on Kerack Marine, it's not great. Maybe the Royal Guard's what you want for a bit more protection. They might remove it, but it's a decent card as well if you can't run the Kerack Marine and want the protection. You don't need the protection, but if you do have it, it might not be a bad idea. And then the 5 provision slots, you have the Boiling Oil second Kero Ballista as an option. I wouldn't really recommend the other siege engines. No Trebuchet, no battering ram. You can, but I found it to just not work out super well. So I think this is it. One note here, if you do want to change up the siege engines here, Odrin I think is really good, by the way. So I think the rest of the deck's pretty much set. You see this all the time in Siege. Basically this slot here, which is usually King Belohun, or you could run Aerondight now, or you could run the what's it called? The War Chariot. You slip in here and maybe a Trololo as an up to 4 provision card and take out the Aerondight. Or up to a 5 provision card and take out the Aerondight. The 14 provisions from Aerondight, and then maybe down here, one of the 5s is usually what you have to play around with in Siege. So you can do that for sure. I just really like the Aerondight here. I think I might keep it in for now. But yeah, that'll be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Oh, by the way, if you want a reset, Bloody Baron's not a bad card. You can run as well in high provision slots instead of Aerondight. But for the Aerondight version, I think the only things you can really change are down here. But I did like the deck, so hope you guys enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun trying this out. And if you want to try something similar, let me know what your successes are. What other decks do you run Aerondight in? I've seen it in Dwarves, I've seen it in Double Cross, I've seen it in a lot of places. But we've consistently in this deck had the biggest Aerondights of the opponents I've faced. And that should, at least to me, says something about its potential in decks like this. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.